Now the cravings that go on now with opioids, now this is a totally different situation. This is a physical illness. So their body, at first, they may not be addicted right away. A lot of people can use them as prescribed and there's no addiction. Some people are fine that way. Other people really enjoy it. It feels good. They're more genetically prone, whatever it is. But with persistent use, the brain chemistry gets altered. And I don't want to get too technical, but the way the drug works is by stimulating receptors in the brain, the opioid receptors, and this increases the production of dopamine. And dopamine is like the feel-good drug, a neurotransmitter, I should say, that's in the brain. And so there's a balance that goes off now. So with persistent opioid transmission, there's a lot more dopamine produced, and the body tries to compensate for this by attenuating it or reducing the amount of dopamine receptors. So what this means is that there's an imbalance with persistent use. And when a person stops taking the drugs, they go into withdrawal physically, because now they have so many of these dopamine receptors that aren't being filled, and it induces a state of dysphoria, which is on discomfort. So in drug use, there's a state of euphoria, which is happiness, comfort, goodwill, feeling well. This is what the drug user is generally after. But in withdrawal, like if they stop taking the drug, because of the altered neurotransmission in their brain, they will have excessive opioid receptor production that leads to an imbalance where there's no more dopamine, and the other neurotransmitters take over, like norepinephrine and epinephrine, just as a few examples. Either way, that translates to a person feeling like crap. They feel sick, ill, they feel like they're coming down with a flu, which is much worse than an actual flu, a sense of impending doom. They feel like they're going to die. I know this because I've been through it myself personally. So these are the things that predispose a person to feeling worse, is that they can have psychological, so they're away from their drug of choice and that bothers them and they crave. And then there's the physical things, as I said, which their body has actually gone through altered neurotransmission where the brain wants to feel back to normal again, and this induces cravings. So the art of getting off of these heavy-duty drugs is to get on opioid replacement therapy of some sort, like Suboxone or methadone. So it satisfies the opioid receptors, and it's generally the dose of these medications is reduced, hopefully to wean them off entirely. The things I've discussed already are the thing of withdrawal and the physical dependence and the psychological dependence. There's a whole host of other things that make a person addicted to drugs. These are, in my situation, I didn't have my defenses up. There were stresses and pressures in my life, and I was not coping well with them, and I started relying on Percocet, my drug of choice, to medicate myself as a crutch to feel better. So there was that component of psychological stressors. There's also a genetic component where some people are more prone than others, who are more likely to become addicted because it sits well with them. They feel better. They feel more relaxed. The opioid could be used as a social lubricant. They feel less tension when they're in social environments. So all of the above can lead to one person becoming addicted and the other person not. Thanks for listening.
We've helped over 1 million Americans completely recover from substance abuse. Call now at 1-800-615-1067. Call now.